Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter, and I'm welcoming you to yet another OTP Legends League Stats Day. As there is no games on, well, there were no games 11. I know this is August 12th, but there are no games August 11th, so that means it's Stats Day. You see the stats and all that. We're gonna go by expanded standing sub league as the Boston Red Sox lead the American League in wins with 85. Oakland, Detroit, Kansas City, and Houston all are leading their divisions and all the top five win totals. Cleveland's got the most wins for a non-winning non-team leading division with Baltimore and the White Sox. So that practically means that it's Cleveland, Baltimore, White Sox. 1 to 8, it would be the White Sox and the Red Sox, who ironically are going to meet tomorrow on the Legend League game of the day. It'll be a double dip. What can you do? Baltimore at Oakland. Cleveland would play Detroit, and that's a good matchup. And Houston would face Kansas City. Rematch 10 years earlier in 2015 of the first round. Yeah, the Yankees would miss the playoffs by 2 games, which they're the defending champions. Tampa and Toronto would be there too. Okay. National League, the Giants and the Mets lead their divisions. LA has 80 wins, third, but one problem: they are not winning their division. The Marlins are winning their division at 79 games. The Braves have 77 wins, but they're not winning their division. The Padres have 73 wins, but they're not leading their division. That's the Marlins. So right now, Giants, Mets, Marlins, Reds, and Expos would be leading. So it would be Expos Reds in the quarterfinals. Dodgers would be the 6th seed and meet the Marlins. Braves would be number 7 to meet the Mets, and number 8 are the Padres, who will meet the Giants. And they are just 1 game above the Cardinals and 1.5 on Philly, who has to play a doubleheader later in the year. That could mean everything. The top seasonal team, quote unquote seasonal team, the 2017 Astros are 3 games below 500, with the 93 Blue Jays second, 2011 Rangers third. In the National League, the 1906 Cubs lead with 55 wins, 57 Braves have 54 wins, and the 54 Giants have 52 wins. At the bottom are the 2020 Rays, despite winning 2 out of 3 against the Angels in what they call the Toilet Bowl. And the 2001 Diamondbacks have 33 wins, but they don't have a long losing streak. All right, our expanded standings. We look at the standings. The AL East, Boston is crushing it over Baltimore by 11 and the Yankees by 14. The 3 seasonal teams below 500. Pythagorean would see the Yankees in second instead of the Old Dogs. 3 straight wins by the Red Sox. 84 Tigers have lost 3 straight. The 2004 Red Sox are got a 5-game losing streak. The AL Central, Kansas City leading Cleveland by only 4, the White Sox by 6. The seasonal teams are behind. Pythagorean has no problems. Cleveland's got a 7-game winning streak. They're hot, and Kansas City's falling behind. The 85 Royals still are 4th in their division despite a 6-game losing streak. The AL West, Oakland crushing it over the Angels by 14, Seattle by 18. The 3 seasonal teams behind. Everything Pythagorean looks right. 3 straight wins by the Angels. Ideated for the wild card battle. The AL North, the Tigers lead the Blue Jays by 11 and the Twins by 14. Pythagorean actually has Minnesota in second instead of those pesky Blue Jays, quote unquote. With the 27 Yankees should be 4th, but they're 5th. 5 straight losses by the 20 Indians. The AL South, Houston leads Tampa by 5, Texas by 7, and then everyone else sugars by. Actually, Pythagorean would have the Rays ahead of the Astros by a game with the Rangers behind. It would be a 3-horse race by Pythagorean, but you can't play it by that. 5 straight wins for the Astros. They're looking pretty good. And East, the Mets are crushing it over St. Louis by 10 and Philly by 10.5. Philly still has to play a doubleheader in September. That could mean the difference. The 97 Marlins are 4th in the division, but Pythagorean, they are really bad. Everyone says by Pythagorean, they should be shit at 39 wins and 78 losses. I think is that 1/3? That can't be 1/3. 39 is 78. Yeah, it would be 333. Yeah, you can be 333 because the 2019 Nationals are 39-78. Okay. They would beat the 333. 5 straight wins by the Mets, 4 straight losses by the Cardinals. So the Mets are basically putting up numbers. Well, Their lead's now at 10. 5-4. That's a 9-game thing. The Reds lead the Pirates by 3. The Cubbies by 13. Nothing. Pythagorean actually. Wow, look at the Pythagorean. Pittsburgh would be at 81 wins. Cincy would be at 70. Pittsburgh, season 2 defending champ. Would do all that. West, the Giants lead the Dodgers by 5 and the Reds by 24. So it's basically a 2-horse race. Pythagorean would have the Giants ahead of the Dodgers by only a game. Well, the Giants are faltering and the Diamondbacks are faltering, so the Dodgers have to try to sneak in through there. North Montreal leads Colorado by 4, Milwaukee by 12. Pythagorean would have Colorado in the lead, and the 75 Reds would be 4th instead of the 55 Dodgers. 4 straight wins by the Rockies. Expos have lost a few games here and there, so the Rockies are trying to do it. The South, Miami leads Atlanta by 2, San Diego by 6, so that's the big horse race right now in the NL. Atlanta would be leading by Pythagorean over Miami by 1 and San Diego by 2. Teams are bunched together. All right, so let's look at the wild cards. As you can see, Oakland, Detroit, Kansas City, Houston, Boston would win their division. San Fran, Miami, Cincy, Montreal, and the Mets. So by that, the Red Sox would be the 1 seed, Oakland 2, Detroit 3, Kansas City 4, Houston 5. Kansas City would face Houston. Cleveland would be number 6, Baltimore number 7, White Sox number 8. The Yankees, the defending champs, are 2 back and trying to chase. There's still a good chase going on with 6 teams fighting within 7 games. As I said, the Giants would be the 1 seed, the Mets the 2 seed, Marlins 3, Reds 4, Montreal 5. So Montreal would go to Cincy. LA would be number 6, Atlanta would be number 7, and San Diego would be number 8. Philly's 1.5 back. There's a fight. There's not a lot of big fights right now. All right, so let's take a look at the wild cards and all that. So Oakland, let's take a look at the A's. Ricky, LaJoie, Fox, Delex, McGuire coming back from injury. John B. Simmons, Reggie Tejada, and Steinbach are there. Rotation looking pretty good, especially Sheep Bender, 18-1. Amazing. Tim Hudson was in the rotation, but taken out for Fida Blue, and it's worked out quite well. Organization-wise, injury list, nobody's injured. Thank goodness for that overview and all that. Key guys overall, I would say that Max Bishop is my pick to be the top prospect. I think him and Carney Lansford would be probably the guys that I want to keep on the roster and all that. The Tigers winning the division. Ty Cobb, Trammell, Greenberg, Cash, Granderson, Heilman, Evans, Freehand, and Lou Whitaker. Because Charlie Granger just had to get hurt again. Guy is so bulletproof. He has a torn quad. He'll be out 3 weeks. So let's see if Detroit can keep their second baseman alive. Lou Whitaker has done terribly, but he hasn't batted too many times. He has played 7 games, has 17 at bats. So, give him a chance. Well, Garinger was hurt, and Whitaker had to sneak in. Rotation, everyone got 10 wins, just like the A's rotation, organization, injured list. You have Garinger with a torn quad for 3 weeks. So second base, you got Tony Phillips backing up Whitaker, coming in 51 games this year. The Royals, Cleveland and the White Sox would also make it. So Kansas City, Willie Wilson's, Mike Sweeney, George Brett, Javier Garcia playing second. Now that Brett's back at third. Beltran at center. Collazo back at short. John Mayberry DHing. Jermaine Dye right. And Gerald Porter catcher. Yeah, you got these super rookies on the Kansas City squad, especially on the bullpen. The rotation. Sanchez and Kawika have done pretty well. Everyone's got 12 wins on the rotation. Ivan Castillo as a rookie, 28 saves. Where the heck have these guys come from? Injury list, Frank White's got a strained groin. He'll be out for a pair of weeks. But he should be okay because you got Gabriel Garcia back at second base, who's been Mr. Everything, and Colossal too. So Kansas City is getting good. I mean, Gabriel Garcia has come out of freaking nowhere from the Dominican Republic. And Pedro Colossal has come out of freaking nowhere too. Cleveland is in a playoff position. You got Lofton, Morgan, Manrian, Bell, Colavito, Rosen, Viagra, Lou, and O'Neill. Yeah, and Morgan, well, he's done well. Every rotation guy's got at least 12 wins. Injury list, Bettencourt out for a month with biceps tendonitis. So he had 39 saves last year. He's got 17. He'll be out for a month. He should be back in time for the playoffs. Bobby Ofila broke a bone and elbow. He was doing okay, but he was the second baseman, but he's been hurt. So that practically means that Viagra has to come in. Addie Joss is technically the closer. I would go with Doug Jones as the closer by my process because Addie Joss is not really a closer per se. The Chi Sox also are in a playoff position. I should have said with Boston. Well, White Sox in a position. Mosto, Chet, Schulis, Joe, Frank, Ventura, Konerko, Persinski, Fox, and Guillen. I think there's a few injuries for the White Sox middle infielders. Chris Sale, 9 and 10, the weak point of the rotation, but that's okay. Injury list. Yep, look at this. 3 middle infielders hurt for the White Sox. Eddie Collins fractured thumb. He'll be out for 2 to 3 weeks. He was the man at second base. Aparicio fractured rib, which isn't good. 58 games. He was basically a part-time shortstop. Now he'll be out. And Luke Appling, an Achilles tendon. He's out for the year. He was the shortstop for the White Sox. Now he's hurt, and Aparicio can't come in for a few weeks because of the rib. So that means more pressure on Jose Guillen, with Jose Valentin also having to step up to the plate. He only had 28 games last year. So yeah, you have to have Guillen and Valentin. So if anything for the White Sox, and if anything, including like the Yankees, Rays, and Blue Jays, is that the White Sox are light on second and shortstop for at least 3 weeks. Houston? I talked about Houston? I didn't talk about Houston. You got Cesar, Biggio, Bagwell, Berkman, Glenn Davis, Hidalgo, Ensberg, Reynolds, and Osmus. Yeah, look at that, Ensberg. 5 home runs, 8 RBIs. The rotation's not as strong as the other division leaders. Injury list: Cam Kennedy out for a week with a herniated disc. So that's good news for Houston. He'll be back for Ensberg. A couple months for Dickie Vaughn, so he's almost all but gone. He can still technically come in for the playoffs, but yeah, he's hurt. So Randall's has to play shortstop. And Bob Watson, look at all these things. He has a fractured wrist, a strained rib cage muscle, and a sore knee. So he's out for 6 weeks. I don't know how long he'll be, but yeah, he had 3 separate injuries. Can you do that? I think Kevin Bass is now in the lineup in a sense because of that. And the Bo Sox with Baltimore. Well, the Bo Sox: Tris, Nomar, Terrible Ted, Big Papi, Rice, Lynn, Pedroia, Fisk, and Collins. Every starter has at least 13 wins. Yeah, Big Papi was hurt last year, right? Mm-hmm. Injuries: Harry Breachin out for a week. Surgery to remove bone chips. So Breachin will be in the Boston organization. I don't know if they'll let him pitch out of there, but we'll see. And Baltimore also would make the wild card. Seisler, Eddie, Ken Williams, F. Rob, Ripken, Severay, Brooks, Blair, Bellinger. Bedard's 9 and 12. Everyone else has at least 12 wins in the rotation. Injury list: Rick Dempsey fractured finger, out 3 weeks. He was their main catcher. So you've got Severeid. And you also got Chris Hoyles, who could also work out for Baltimore. But they really want Dempsey back. In the National League, you got the Giants leading everything with the Dodgers top. The Giants: Thompson, Terry, Willie Mays, McCovey, Mitchell, Ott, Cepeda, Posey, Jackson. Decent lineup. Every man of the rotation has 12 wins. That's pretty good. Injury list: Gary LaFell, a couple weeks. He was doing quite well for the Giants and then got injured. But maybe he comes back and maybe the Giants may have some good bullpen work. Barry Bonds, torn labrum. He's out till at least February. And he was actually hitting the ball quite well. But fortunately for the Giants, I mean, they did get Cepeda into the play left field. Now the question is if you want Lavelle, who do you replace? My money would be on Schumacher. Hal Schumacher, or even Antonelli. You knock him out. But we'll see what happens. The Dodgers, they're making the playoffs. Let's look at them. Jackie, Kemp, Herman, Snyder, Garvey, Hodges, Pedro, Guerrero, Campi, and Russell. Russell was the shortstop, got injured last year, but now he's back in line. Everyone's got 11 wins in the rotation. Injured list: Xavier Hernandez out 2 months. They picked him up off rosters by Houston. Torn flexor. He might not be able to play, but the Dodgers are like, we got a bullpen arm when we need him. Nah, I don't know. The Marlins, the Braves and Padres are the two wildcard teams. So the Marlins have Hanley, Lee, Miggy, Cabrera, Stanton, Sheffield DH, and Kotze, Lowe, and Fonte Johnson. I think Q is out. Q Veras. Everyone's got, well, Josh Beckett doesn't have double digit wins. Injured list. Where's Q Veras? Is he not the second baseman? Oh, I thought he was in. Yeah, 73 games. And he's not the second baseman? Miles Thomas will return triceps. They picked him up for the 2002 Angels. He'll be out 2 to 3 weeks. And Moises Alou, a strained PCL, he'll be out for about a month. Question mark on if he'll be back in time for the playoffs. That's why Mickey's playing left and Mike Lowell's now in third base. Oh, sorry about that. We should look at the Braves and the Padres. The Braves, Marcus Giles, Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, Elfie Chipper, Rico Cardi playing left field. Is he basically the main guy or no? Yeah, he is. Javi, Adcock, Furco, and Andrew Jones. Greg Madison 6-3 coming back from injury, so that's why he has so few wins and all that. No big deal. Injured list, nobody's hurt. Well, you have 4 shortstops. I don't know why you have 4 shortstops and 3 catchers. I mean, nothing on Del Crandall, but I wouldn't put him in the roster. And like shortstop, Robin Merriville, why do you have him? Herman Long, why do you have him on the roster? Logan, I can understand it for Kyle. Yeah, but why? And you only have 6 guys. I think they're bullpen. Yeah, their bullpen's fine. Yeah, I don't know why you have so many shortstops. Too many cooks. Too many cooks. The Padres. Gary Templeton at short, then Gwynn, Nevin, Fred McGriff, Agon, Winfield, Giles, Randy Reddy, and Tennants. Latos and Hamilton are not helping out. They're not at double-digit wins. Injured list. Benito's out, torn labrum. He's out for 3 months, so he's out for the year, practically. So that's why Pancho Trillo is the catcher behind Dean Tennants. They're like, what the H? Okay, you got that. The Reds, let's take a look at them. Morgan, Rose, Votto, Clue, Davis, O'Neill, Larkin, Bench, and Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone. 10 wins by every starter? Cool. Injured list. Nobody's hurt. You have 4 catchers, though. I would be like, why do you have 4 catchers? Lombardi's played 19 games. Bubbles Hargrave. You shouldn't. You don't need Bubbles Hargrave. Ed Bailey, you might need. Yeah. You have 5 outfielders. I would find another outfielder if I were the Reds. But I don't make the decisions. And Montreal are leading by 4. You got Reigns, Soriano. Well, he's back from injury. Guerrero, Dawson, Johnson's the DH. Carter, Dimitri, Wallach, and Brooks. Pedro's back in from injury. Strasburg, Dennis, Gio, and Pascal Perez is the number 5. I think Steve Rogers was supposed to be the number 5, but he's been put through the bullpen. I don't know why. You got yourself Rogers. You got 3 catchers. Javier Lopez Jimenez. What a weird name, but yeah. Yeah, Fedro's back on the bench, if you will. Wallach, Zimmerman, Rusty Stop, Jason Worth. So that's all. And actually, one tick. We have to edit league schedule. Reason being is because we got to make sure that Kansas City, Tampa, Arizona, and Colorado, if they have both the seasonal and the all-time team at home, because they share a stadium, they have to be different times. 2001 Mariners and Mariners played in a different stadium. Kansas City doesn't have that problem. Tampa doesn't have that problem. Doesn't have the problem. Arizona does not, and Colorado I don't think does. Nope. All right, so they're clean for now. 15. The Rays don't share with the 2020 team. 85 Royals don't share. Arizona does not share. Colorado does not share. That's good. 18th. Kansas City, do they have to share? Nope. Tampa doesn't have to share. Good. Colorado doesn't have to share. Arizona doesn't have to share. Okay. Tampa, do they have a share of 2020 and all that? Nope. Kansas City, do they share with 85? Nope. Arizona does not have to share. Colorado does not have to share. Oh, beauty. Oh, beauty. Until the next off, cool. Until the next off day on the 24th. Yeah, until the next off day on the 24th for OTP. There's no schedule changing. Beautiful. That's kind of weird and awkward. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.